Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 78 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Minecraft 1.21. I'm today checking out this turbine. Now I'm 99% sure that it is not like done, right? There's more turbine work to be done here. But I'm figuring out how they work a little bit today, so that's the plan. So I've still got this reactor sitting here, which in fairness is getting a little bit low on fuel, but not like terrible. So I'll kind of like let this thing keep doing its thing. It's still producing magnetite stuffs. So the plan is this. I want to figure out how to turn this into a like water to steam reactor, dude, right? And then we're going to pipe the steam into the turbine, figure out how this whole thing works in terms of coils and blades and all that. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough blades in here. So let's take a look at the UI. So first off, there's how much fluid is in there. It can hold 10 buckets, it looks like, of steam. And then coolant, used vapor fluids are condensed back in the coolant and stored in this tank, ready to be pumped out with output fluid ports. So I'm assuming we can create a closed loop type system, but we'll see. And then there's the rotor speed, which is how fast it's spinning. There's the internal energy buffer, and engaging induction coils, and then vent coolant, vent only excess coolant, or do not vent coolant. I guess excess is the way we'd want to go there. And then you can modify your flow rate, which determines like how much millibuckets per tick of steam you're allowed to accept, I guess. So a couple things to note. We want to keep our rotor speed right around 900 or 1800 RPM. So we'll have to figure out how to do that. We're also going to want better coils in here. So like the better coils we put in, right now we're using gold blocks. But if we put better coils in there, we'll get more energy, right? And then finally, rotor efficiency. This is having the right number of rotors. So I think each blade can do 15 millibuckets, I think is what I said last episode. So currently I have 8 in there. So that's probably not enough, right? Isn't that only 120 millibuckets? So we're going to want a lot more to get up to 1,000. But we'll see. So in order to get this reactor to be able to do fluids, I think I need to make it reinforced, because if I'm not missing something, there's a fluidizer port, there's the fluidizer power port, there's the active forged fluid port for reinforced reactors, and then there's a passive reactor port for reinforced reactors, and then there's a mechanism fluid port for reinforced reactors, and then there's the turbine ports for basics and the turbine ports for reinforced. But I don't see a fluid port for basic reactors. So I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that we're going to have to like swap this thing out and make it a reinforced reactor in order for it to be actively cooled. Is that a fair kind of assessment? So what I'm going to ask you to do is eject all your fuel for me. Waste. Okay. So there's definitely like a weird thing that happens when you click this. It doesn't always eject correctly, I think. I don't know. I feel like it's a bug, but I'm not entirely sure. I feel like if you shift click, which I did, the eject fuel button, it kind of only ejects one ingot, but like removes all the fuel from the tank. But anyway, I'm going to avoid reactants here that this thing is now completely empty for reals. And then we're going to break it down. So let's make sure that we're on instant break. I don't think it matters if we're on hammer mode, but instant break is cool, right? As long as we're like careful about it. What I might want to do is shrink myself down for this too. Yeah, I think that would be the smart play. Okay. Cool. Okay. So I'm replacing most of these things. I think I might have to replace all of them with reinforced variants, but we'll, I think, find out in a minute here. Okay, so that's the reinforced armor casing. Let's get you surfaced. And you can be fuzzy on, and if I'm right, that should place pretty smartly. If I do that, that seems pretty cool. That seems pretty cool. Is that good? I like it. Okay. That should be good. Now, do I need all of them reinforced? I forget. Is all the... So yeah, I'm going to need 9 of these. And then we're going to need 9 times 3, 27 of these, right? We'll do 30-ish reinforced reactor fuel rods. And then I should have a bunch of reinforced glass, which should be cool. Good deal. All right, so you're going to be this, but not fuzzy. I guess you don't want to swap that. I might need to turn on effect block entities. There we go. That works. Nice. Okay. And then you guys are done. That means I can break you. Cool. There's those reinforced rods, and then you guys will go here. We're going to do surface mode, not fuzzy. Cool. And then the last thing I think we need is the reactor controller and the ports. And then we should be cool, right? So reinforced controller and then solid axis ports times 2. And that should be this dude fully updated. Right? Yay. All right. Output mode. Now you're good. All right. Reinforced reactor. Looking cool. Now we're going to want reinforced fluid port for reactor. Reactor, I'm thinking passive. I'm thinking passive. I think active means it like pushes fluids and passive doesn't push. I guess I could do one of each, right? It probably doesn't matter because I'm going to use laser IO to transfer fluids anyway. So yeah, we'll do passive for both. I'm cool with that. So now if I swap this to that, does that oh yeah, look at that. Coolant fluid. Okay, cool. Nice. All right, so now we've got coolant fluid tank and vapor fluid tank, which is good. Now I'm assuming this can be a closed loop. So my plan is as such. I'm going to get a sink. Maybe I'm not going to get a sink. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get, well, yeah, no, I should get a sink. I should probably just teach you real quick how to make these dudes. Okay, so you go and do that with your furnace. Cool. Oh, we're missing clay. Okay, you need to know how to make clay. Nice. All right, so I'm going to have you be the steam out on the back here. So you're going to be output mode, and you're going to be input mode, and then you're going to be output mode, and that's an active. So he's going to actively push his water automatically. Yeah, that could be cool. That could be cool. I'm debating if I want this guy to be active over here. I might. It doesn't super matter either way. I don't know. We'll play with it a little bit. But for the time being, let's get him filled up. So on the down, you're going to be a water extractor, right? And then on this face, you're going to be a water inserter. And that shouldn't take too long to fill up. Looks like he does 98 buckets worth. So that'll be just a minute. All right, so now I've got a water tank full of water. Cool. Now, are there other types of coolant? That's actually a really good question. I don't know. Let's check. Actually, the book should tell us also. Variants, reactor parts, active cooling, inner workings, reactants, moderators. Is there anything in here about coolants? The coolants system. Cool. Coolant is one thing we recognize. Fluid. Other mods or packs can do that. So it registers water as a valent coolant and steam as a resulting vapor. So I'm assuming there's no other coolants, but let's double check. I guess none of you are going to tell me if you're reactor, vaping, coolant. Coolant, vapor. Okay, so water and steam. And most other things are just reactants. All right, so I think it's fair to say no. So let's get this thing turned on. So I'm going to get a bunch of yellorium in here, or uranium. All right, so uranium goes in, uranium goes in. That is cool. And now we're ready to activate the reactor. So you're going to heat up. Goodbye, water. Hello, steam. All right, I'll turn you off for a sec. That's cool. So okay, hello, there we go. Now you're at some threshold of steam. That's interesting. So are we going to want to keep pumping water in here, or how does that work? That's an I don't know. We'll find out. And then I guess let's do pipes for a minute, right? And we're probably going to want a bunch more of these. Oh my goodness. Why do you have the wrong? It's going to make a bunch of you. Cool. Now we have extractors for days. Boop. And boop. All right, so now you should be extracting. Does that work? Looks like it's kind of working. It may not be fast enough, but we could always throw accelerator cards in there to speed it up a little bit. So now you're getting the steam. That UI not updating is rough. Now if I turn you on, we can see the RPM speeding up, the energy output, and the rotor efficiency. Blades 8 out of 1. Maybe it's because, and then you are active, right? So this should automatically be pushing. Or you're not just pushing fast enough. So your flow rate is 1,000 millibuckets per tick. Your rotor speed is getting up there. Now if I engage the coils, you're producing power. That's cool. Why are you still at 0? Coolant and vapor is still pretty low. I feel like you might be looping, and I can't tell. I'm thinking that even though this is off, there's still some heat in there, and it's like water's going in and then steam's coming back out. So I think it's kind of being a good closed system. Not entirely sure. I might forego these just so I can like more accurately see what's happening. So you're the output, right? Yep. So the output should have an extract and the input should have an insert, right? And then we should be seeing particles flowing if things are working correctly. If there's any to be seen, right? Now, are you going to show me water in your coolant tank or no? Vent excess coolant. I could always say don't vent coolant. Just because I'm trying to see how like the closed loop thing works. So you're also going to be an extract. And then you're going to be an insert. And I feel like we're going to want to put more water in here. So let's have on the down also be an extract. And then we'll get that synced back. See, the water is going in and it's immediately turning into steam, which I think is like a good sign. And that steam, I assume, is being extracted. Did I reverse these? I did. That's the problem. There we go. Steam going in now. Right? So now we've got water and we've got steam. So the steam is being extracted and going into here, presumably. Oh, you're full. Okay, now we can vent excess coolant for a second. Are you full? Do not vent coolant. So this should be the extract side, right? And this should be the insert side. Yes. Why you know extracting? Should you be passive, maybe? Turbine passive fluid port could maybe work. That might be better. Okay, that's cool. So now you're on. Now if I turn you on, you're going to get hot. You're going to take all the coolant. Got a bunch of steam going on. I feel like maybe I want this to go faster. Yeah, I'm thinking you want a bucket a tick, right? I'm thinking yes. So then let's overclocker this guy. And then let's overclocker this guy. So he's basically doing that, right? And consistently running. Okay, I'm feeling a little better about this. Do not vent coolant, right? So are you like working or do you eventually lose coolant? Because I feel like we're losing it. I thought we'd have like a closed system going on here, but now I'm thinking like we're losing it, right? Just dire experimenting, don't mind me. Okay, now with you off, let's get this filled up. So on the down, I'm going to overclock you too. So that you can get nice and full. Okay. So now if I turn you on, and you're not voiding, do not vent coolant, right? So don't waste anything. So all your steam should be converting to water. I guess that's cool. Now, are we like closed loopy? Are we good? Oh man, you're going really fast now. So now what if I engage our coils? Now our coolant and fluid tanks are empty. Why did that happen? Yeah, it's like suddenly everything is empty, and I don't know why. Right? Am I crazy? Like, you guys aren't transferring fluids anymore. And with this off, you're not cooling off rapidly like you should be. So, I mean, I could do this, right? And we could be set to, you know, do the thing. Cool here. Yeah, like water's 70% full. Okay. It's cool. Yep, we're definitely converting 1 bucket, you know, per tickish. I'm going to engage your induction coils. So at 1800, feels like we're not producing that much FE per tick, right? And we're definitely losing our stuff. Now, in fairness, the rotor efficiency is low. So we realistically need 66 blades in there. So thanks for the math, because I know I needed that, right? Do we have enough stuff for that? We do. Hooray. Okay. So let's off you for a sec. We're going to turn you off as well for a sec. Now, what's up with all my coolant? Like, I feel like my water is disappearing. Am I crazy in feeling that way? Disengaged. Am I crazy? Or does it feel like the water is eventually just voiding somehow, some way? But we're set to not vent coolant, so we shouldn't be losing any water. I'm trying to make a closed loop, and I'm wondering if that's like not as possible as I want it to be. It's possible. It's possible that it's not that possible. Okay. Dyer just derping around with the turbines. All right, I'm going to read a little bit in the book and see if there's anything about this, like, you know, turbine thing. And I'll be back. And then I'm also going to get more rotors in there in a minute, too. So am I crazy, or am I not going to be able to fit 60 of these in here? I feel like I can't, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. I feel like that's probably as much as I'm going to fit in this size reactor or turbine, right? And I don't think I can put ones on the sides, right? They have to be... rotor blade can only be placed perpendicular to a rotor shaft block or beside an already placed blade moving away from the shaft block, right? Connected to another blade or rotor shaft block. So I don't think they can go in the corners, right? I'm almost certain they can't. Okay, so now we've got 24 blades, right? So I guess what I could do is I could throw one, like, just for fun, I'll put one here and see if that forms. See, it doesn't even form. 1 rotor blade that are not attached correctly. Yeah, so definitely not. I was 99% sure that was the way it was supposed to be. Okay. So do not vent coolant. No venting, please. Now, worst case, I could say vent all coolant, and then we could just have water coming in here from the sink, which is no big deal. I just thought it would be cool to have like a closed loop system. So I was hoping that I could. If this doesn't work, that's what I'll do, right? Cool. So you're off right now, but you still had a little residual heat, so you were doing like a little bit of spinniness. So your water tank is full now. Okay. So if I turned you on, right? Cool. It's cool. It's cool. Maybe you're venting something? I don't know. Maybe he vents like excess steam or something? I honestly don't know. But if I set you... So you're engaged, right? So our rotor efficiency is definitely low. So what I should really do is be reducing this to like 500 millibuckets per tick for a flow rate. That's really what I should be doing. So I think this is, yeah, see, like all of a sudden coolant and vapor like disappear and I don't know where it all goes. But I think the point of this is to really be efficient with fuel, right? If I'm not mistaken. So my guess is, like, we're not producing a lot of FE per tick from this. And it's also probably a big part of it is, well, actually, we're also... Did I remove my gold blocks here? I guess I did. I don't remember doing that, but I guess I had to. I did to get in there. That's right. Yes. So, yes, definitely. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to vent all coolant, forget extracting. We're just going to throw a sink here, and that'll be fine, right? So now it's just going to keep full of steam, and that's it, right? Like, I don't care anymore. We're done. We're done trying to make a closed loop, right? It'll be fine. 24 out of 33 is what we need to keep up. .24 out of 26. 24 out of 24. Okay. Because that's 15 millibuckets, right? Times 24 is 360. So that's actually perfect, right? Now, why do you not have steam now? Oh, right, because you're off. Right, that's perfect. That makes sense. Cool, right? So now we're voiding all our extra coolant. So now 360 millibuckets per tick. So this is where we might want to insert our fuel rods. But I'm also thinking I want to see what happens when I like up the turbine rotors, right? Or the coils. So if I F3H that, these are all my coil type blocks, right? That I could do. So Ludicrite being one of them. So that's plutonium going into a reprocessor with cyanite, liquid cyanite into a reprocessor will get me Ludicrite block ingots. Okay. Reprocessor is fluidizer, reprocessor is reprocessor. This guy. Yes. Right, you can go ahead and be voided here in a minute. So what we're going to need is some liquid cyanite with plutonium. So let's get, so right now our energy output is kind of doing its thing, right? We're sitting around 900 RPM, which is about where we want to be, but I feel like we're dropping. Is that because, that's because you're off. Okay, let that be off for a minute. That's fine. So around 900 RPM, we're getting 900 FE per tick. Ish, 800-ish, right? Let's see what happens when I replace this with a Ludicrite block. All right, so if I'm not mistaken about this, I need this to be the solid to fluid guy, right? So if I replace you with solid injector, replace you with solid injector, right? So now you're going to be solid to fluid. And then we put 16 of these in here. Assuming that's right, yes. Fluid, solid to fluid. Is that cool? Doing this wrong. Fluidizer. Turn solid into fluid, and then we need one and only one solid injector in the machine. Aha. That should be cool now. Hooray! And then you'll output to up here, right? Perfect. All right, so now you Are we short a bucket? We might have been short a bucket of water. There we go. So now we've got 32 plutonium. And that turns into Ludicrite if we pass it through the reprocessor with cyanite. Cool. So then I'm going to take you, working your way up. There you go. And right? And then we put the plutonium in there, and he turns into Ludicrite. Cool. I like it. And then we'll place one of these gold blights with Ludicrite, gold blocks with Ludicrite, and we'll see what that does. Hopefully something good. Now there's eventually Rediculite, which is Ludicrite with I could do that. And then there's Inanite, which is Rediculite with Rosinite, which I assume is like the next. And then there, yeah. So you can get like this. I'm not gonna do all of these. I'm just gonna check out a couple basics. See how it goes. That is not behaving the way I expected it to. Do what now? Oh, right. You need to be end crystal in the middle. So end crystal in the middle. And since I happen to have enough for 2, might as well, right? Put these both in there. We do that. And now we might get better power gen from this setup, right? So now if I turn you on, right, you're transferring your steam, you're doing your thing, you're turned on now, set to vent coolant. Your induction coils are engaged. Hopefully we'll get more energy. Once we get up to the 900 RPM range, we'll see. I'm questioning it a little bit. Now, if I turn you off, you should speed up faster, I think. But I can't really tell if it's speeding up faster. I'm not seeing a big improvement, though, to be fair, I only did, 2 of the blocks. I feel like we need like a reinforced turbine that's going to be like way more powerful if we really want to take advantage of all the steam we can produce. But because like clearly this is like the size of a basic turbine. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting better power gen now. Look at that. Yeah, definitely an improvement using those blocks. Definitely an improvement, right? Yeah, hugely improved. That's cool. When we hit 900, that's like our threshold, if you will. And that's where we like cap out. All right, that's not bad. I like that. Now, when we go over 900, we're going to have some loss of efficiency, I think. Not bad, though. Not terrible. And 1800 is our next efficiency cap. And then if we go over 1800, then we have a problem. So how do I prevent you from going like above 900 or above 1800? I don't know the answer to that one. And realistically, I should be doing something here. So the reactor is actively cooled by coolant such as water, which is superheated by the core. Is that like what our current vapor output is? 424 millibuckets per tick. So that's interesting. So if I set these guys to 50 and change all, that means that we are now at a 50% insertion rate. So that we'll be using 50% as much fuel. Is that going to cool down now and produce less vapor output? So I'm going to make you like 90%. Right? Change all. Because the goal with the turbines is to use less fuel. It's not. It's about the ratio of fuel to power generation. I think. So if we can get this thing to still be producing the 360 millibuckets per tick of steam that we need while using far less fuel burn up, that's the whole point of doing this. So we'll let you cool off. Well, actually, I'm going to turn you off for a sec because I want to get you down to like a way cooler heat. Okay. And then does this ever like chill? I want this number to drop, and then I'm going to turn it back on and see how it goes. Right? Because you're currently still doing really well there. But you're still saying 424 millibuckets per tick of output. Why are you still 424 no matter what my temperature is? Oh, there we go. Ha! Now it dropped. Sweet. So now if I turn you back on, see, we're producing more millibuckets per tick, but it's probably capped by this. And that's where that limit of 424 is coming from. So I can probably, I'm just going to set you to 99% and see what happens. So that should drop pretty significantly, but look how little fuel we're using right now. Right? So that's definitely too far, right? So at this point, like with this temperature, we're producing around 73 millibuckets per tick of stuff, right? And now you're going to probably run out of steam pretty soon, right? So yeah, see our steam's almost out. So this guy's going to run out of steam and he's going to be too slow. So our trick here is to like bump this up. So if I make you 96%, pretty close, 95. Oh, that's really good. We're producing 374, right? And over here we're using 360. So now we should be like perfectly-ish balanced a little bit, producing a little bit more steam than we need to, but like not the end of the world such, like kind of cool, totally okay. Or not. So you're saying you're producing a vapor output of 375, but like I'm questioning if that's true. Because I feel like you should be filling up and you're not, right? And you're saying 317, which makes me think that you're actually producing 317 millibuckets, not 374. So I'm going to bump this down one more. 355, 370. So I think that's probably where we want to be. Because remember before we were set to 360 and we were doing 4 something, right? 424 or something like that. So I feel like this number's wrong. But see, yeah, now we're net gaining on steam, which is about where we want to be, right? So this is correct. So with all my fuel rods set to 94%, we're good. Now, in fairness, I have 9 rods here. So if I wanted to get even more, exact, what I could do is I could bump you guys back up, and now you're going to be producing less, right? So now we're going to run out of our net gain of steam, and then we should see this number stick at the number it's actually producing, which is 317. I could just change 1 at a time, right? So now you're 94 and the others are 95, and you're at 324, okay? And that could be 94. And that's 329. $344, 345, 346, somewhere around there. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I hit the wrong button. So 94, 94, 94, 94. So that's 5 at 94 and 4 at 95. Probably 1 more at 94. And that should be cool. That might be like 350 to, yeah, that's right. That's right. 358 to 3, yeah, right around 358 to 360. to 362. So hopefully we're averaging 360. That could be cool. I like it. I like it. I think that's neat, right? Now, as this thing speeds up even faster, he's going to have a bit of efficiency loss. But, like, we're producing a lot of energy for a very tiny amount of uranium, right? The fuel burn rate is, like, microscopic. I don't know how long it's going to take to burn through, like, an ingot of fuel here, but it's going to be a very long time. That's the whole point in doing this, right? Is to have the smallest amount of fuel burn rate for the greatest amount of FE per tick. And if we got more Ludicrite in there, that would be cool, which I'm going to do, like, right now. I'm going to go, between episodes, replace all my blocks with Ludicrite. So in order to do that, I'm going to need, it's 2 blocks for a stack of cyanite, right? I believe that to be true. So we're going to need 2 stacks. We're going to need 3 stacks to be cool here, right? And then we're going to need a little bit more cyanite to make the other stuff, but we'll deal with that in a minute. So for now, Darwell 20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Definitely a lot of reactoriness, but I think it's cool. I don't know. What do you guys think? I hope you liked it because I thought it was neat. I enjoy playing with numbers sometimes and just like trying to get everything as balanced as possible. So I think this is a pretty cool build, and I hope you guys enjoyed as well. I could probably fit a couple more turbine blades in there. I think I can fit 4 more, which would let me bump up my flow rate a little bit more. I might do that. We'll see. But you can see so I don't know how to get this to go slower. Like, I need this thing to slow down a little bit. He's a little bit too fast. But maybe putting Ludicrite in there will make him absorb more rotation and slow down more. We'll find out next episode. For now, Darwell 20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. You know the deal. Take it easy.